if you told a World War I veteran that his next mission would be against a flightless bird, he'd probably laugh in your face. But in 1932, that's exactly what happened. The Australian government sent soldiers armed with Lewis machine guns to stop an invading army of emus from destroying farmland. The operation was expected to last only a few days. Instead, it became one of the strangest military failures in history. So, how did the birds win? To understand how things got this far, we have to look at Western Australia during the Great Depression. Thousands of World War I veterans had been given farmland by the government to build new lives. But farming the Australian outback was anything but easy. Years of drought had ruined harvests. Wheat prices had collapsed. Many families were barely hanging on. Then came a problem no one expected. Every year, emus migrate across Australia in search of food and water. Normally, this wasn't much of an issue. But in 1932, drought pushed nearly 20,000 emus straight into the farming district of Campion. To the farmers, it looked like an invasion. To the emus, it looked like an endless buffet. The birds tore through wheat fields, devoured crops, trampled farmland, and smashed through livestock fences. Those broken fences created another problem, allowing rabbits to flood the farms and destroy whatever the emus had left behind. The farmers fought back with their rifles. It barely slowed the birds. There were simply too many of them. Running out of options, they turned to the Australian government for help. The response surprised everyone. Instead of sending farming experts, the government sent the army. In early November 1932, Major G.P.W. Meredith and 2 other members of the Royal Australian Artillery arrived with 2 Lewis machine guns and 10,000 rounds of ammunition. On paper, the mission sounded simple: find the emus, open fire, protect the farms. But the moment the shooting started, the plan began to fall apart. The soldiers located a large flock, set up their machine guns, and opened fire. The emus didn't stand their ground. Within seconds, they scattered into smaller groups, sprinting across the landscape faster than the heavy guns could track them. The first attack ended with only a handful of birds killed. If the first attempt was disappointing, the second was even worse. The soldiers decided to wait near a watering hole, believing the birds would walk straight into an ambush. Everything was in position. The emus arrived. The soldiers opened fire. Then, one of the machine guns jammed. The flock escaped once again. After several days, the military had managed to kill only about 30 emus. Major Meredith tried changing tactics. Farmers attempted to herd the birds toward waiting soldiers using trucks. In theory, it sounded promising. In reality, it was chaos. One truck crashed during the chase, and firing accurately from a moving vehicle over rough ground proved almost impossible. Meanwhile, the emus kept doing what they did best, running. They could reach speeds of nearly 30 miles per hour, and their tough bodies often survived anything but well-placed shots. Major Meredith later remarked that the birds' resilience reminded him of tanks. The soldiers had better weapons. The emus had better mobility. With little to show for thousands of rounds of ammunition, the military operation was called off. The emus were still roaming the countryside, the farms were still suffering, and the birds had survived an army armed with machine guns. The government later switched to a different strategy, supplying farmers with ammunition and introducing bounty programs, which proved far more effective. No peace treaty was ever signed, but history has already decided the winner. Australia had machine guns. The emus had speed. Guess which one won?